If you're looking for some accessories for your brand new Cybertruck to make it stand out a little bit more and to give the interior a little bit more of a premium look and feel, I've got just the accessories for you. In this video, we're going to be checking out some RGB LED door threshold lights, as well as a center console carbon fiber cover made by EV-Base. Both of these accessories are super easy to install, and again, I think they add some really nice style and flair to make your Cybertruck stand out. So we're going to see how they fit and feel. I'm going to go over how well they work and what they look like and whether or not I think they're right for you. So let's get started. So this is how the RGB LEDs come. See what you get inside the box. So here it looks like we get some cleaning wipes. We also get a USB Type-C cable for charging. They come nicely wrapped inside this bubble wrap. We also get some instructions here. And these also do have a carbon fiber look to them, which is really nice. Goes along well with the carbon fiber center console cover. So there is the threshold light. It is made of like a plasticky type material. Again, it's got the carbon fiber insert there, and it also says a Cybertruck kind of etched out into the plexiglass. You can also get another logo here. I believe it's the Cerberus dog instead of Cybertruck, but I wanted to go with the Cybertruck logo because I don't have a Cyber Beast. On the back here, it also does seem to have a piece of sticky adhesive to stick to your door frame. And we also do have a little USB Type-C cable or a port in here to charge them up as well, and that's covered with a little silicone cover. So the little ones are made for the rear doors, and the longer ones are made for the front doors. And the way that you turn these on is it's got a little power button kind of etched in to the carbon fiber here, and this little sensor here is for when you have your doors closed. It turns off the light, and then when you open the door, it trips the sensor and turns on the RGB LED. And the way that you turn this on is you just hold in the power button here, and it turns on the RGB. You can also cycle through quite a bit of different designs, and the way that you do that is just press in the power button, don't hold it, and it just cycles through the different lights and patterns. Pretty neat. I'll show you what this looks like in the dark in just a minute. As you can see, these are a little bit longer, made out of the same material. They do have a couple little slits for the RGB LED lighting. Again, hold in the power button and it turns on the RGB. I think that looks pretty nice, and it's going to look even better in the dark. And you can see when I put my thumb over the sensor, it turns off the RGB, and when I remove my thumb, it turns it back on, and that's how it's going to work for your doors. And EV-Base also does recommend that you charge these up fully before you install them for the very first time. And this is what the RGB lights look like when they're charging up. They actually show like a little status. You can see that they're about 3/4 of the way charged, and then when they're totally done, they turn green. All right, so once you have your RGB lights all charged up, we need to make sure that we flip these over and push in these little fasteners all the way to one side. Because if they're not all the way to one side, it's not going to fit properly on your door and they could fall off. The next thing you need to do is to take your adhesion promoter. We're going to clean off our door frame here. And we need this to totally dry before we do the installation. So for my installation, I found the perfect placement to be at the very end of this little insert here. I want to line that up with the seam on the door frame. So it's going to go right here and try to line up the door seam with the very end of this little insert here, and it should fit pretty good. So we just need to remove the adhesive from the back. Be very careful when you're taking off the cover here, because the adhesive on the back actually can come up off the fastener. So just be very careful when you're taking off the covers here. And we'll turn this over and we'll put this in place like I mentioned before. Try to get that with the seam in the door And then once you have it in place, just lay it down and then press on it to get the adhesive to stick. And then you can kind of remove the RGB light and then push down on those little adhesive pads to make sure they're stuck down in place. And then you can take your RGB light and kind of put this back over and then slide it off to one side and it will stay in place. Now they also do give you these infrared sensing stickers that you can place underneath your door so the RGB light can actually turn off. But from what I'm experiencing, when I close my door, the lights turn off. So I don't want to stick down any stickers onto my door if I don't have to. So you can kind of check by closing the door. If they turn off, great, you don't need these. But if they're not working properly, then you're probably going to need to use these stickers. All right, so now we're going to install the rear passenger RGB door sill light. Now there is a little line here in my door that I think I'm going to use to help line this up with. I'm going to put the very tip of the right side along with this little seam here. And then once it's down, just press it into place really good. And then if you ever need to remove it to charge it, you can just slide it off to one side and it very easily comes off. But it's stuck in place really well. So you can also kind of press this down into place once you take this off. Just make sure it's there, and then you can just take your light, put it in place, then slide it back in. It stays. Looks really nice. So now that we've got them all installed and the lights turned down a little bit, you can see that they're actually pretty bright. Just wait until I turn the lights completely off and you'll see what they look like. But for now, I just want to go through the different patterns and colors that it can actually offer you. And again, remember, you can always turn these off if maybe you have your car in for service and they're going to keep the door open for an extended period of time so you don't waste the battery. You can always just turn those off. But here we've got the red. If you want to change anything, you just simply press the power button in once. It changes to the next color. And it'll go through all the colors of the solid pattern and then continue on to the next pattern. So we've got green, we've got blue, it seems like a light purple color, a yellow, a lighter blue, which looks pretty cool too, and a white. If you know that's all you want, then it should go on to the next pattern. So here we've got kind of like a rainbow effect. Goes back and forth. And then here's this is more of a scrolling rainbow. And it seems like just a chasing color. And here we have that rainbow again. These seem like chasing colors, but they're different colors than they were before. Ooh, this looks pretty cool. That's a pretty cool pattern. That's pretty interesting. So instead of the light disappearing, it just continuously shows a different light. And then here we have it go back and forth in a different color. And here it's kind of just slowly cycling through the colors. That looks really cool. And then it does the same thing in a different color. So it cycles through and then it just kind of breathes. That's pretty neat. I like that one. There it is in the blue. So these patterns will start up when you open your door. And the purple. Yellow. The light blue. And the white. And then it's just the solid color all over again. And then this is what the lights look like in total darkness. That is super bright. Looks really nice. We'll open up our back door here. So there's the back passenger and the front passenger. Looks so cool. And it looks like they do turn off after a certain amount of time, so they don't stay on. Let's see if the rear one turns off too. All right, so it does look like after about a couple minutes, they actually turn off to save power, which is something that I particularly like, so you don't have to worry about it draining the battery. And then motion turns them back on again. So that is pretty cool. That looks really neat. Super vibrant, nice and bright, so you can very easily see where you're stepping into the truck. That is really cool. And if we close the door a little bit, you can actually see them turning off. So you know that they're not going to stay on when the door is closed. You can see the door's just cracked, and if I open it up a little bit, the light turns on. That is so cool. I'm not going to lie, this red Cylon pattern looks pretty sick. That's so cool. I really do like that in the red pattern too. And you can also see it pretty good during the day as well. The LEDs are pretty bright. These are so sick. Another great accessory that EVBase offers to easily upgrade your interior to a more premium look is their carbon fiber center console cover. Now this isn't just covered in a carbon fiber laminate, it's actually made from real carbon fiber through and through, so it's going to be very light and very durable. It also has these little sticky adhesive pads on the inside to help keep the cover in place, but we're going to install it first without removing the adhesive pads for the people out there that want to use the cover but don't want to get any sticky adhesive on their bottom cover. And it should be super easy to install. We should just be able to place it over the top cover of our center console here, and it should stay in place. So let's do that right now. So the way we want to install this is the back portion is going to have just a very little lip, whereas the front has that more aggressive lip here. So we're just going to place this over the top of our cover. Make sure that the little lip here is kind of protruding out over your top console because we're going to slide it into place. We'll just press it over the top, kind of like this first. And it seems like, let's Seems like it's sticking on the other side a little bit better than it is there. So we might have to just totally slide this on. So we'll put that there, put this on the front here, and just slide this back. And it seems to be fitted pretty good. So we might have to press this into place. And I didn't use any of the adhesives. That looks really nice. So again, it's not coming off. So if you want to use this cover without the 3M adhesive pads, it looks just like you can do that. But if you do have it kind of moving around on you, you might have to use the little adhesive strips underneath. And most likely the time that you're going to need to use that is maybe when it's very hot in your car. But for right now, it's nice and cool. And it does seem like the pad is fitting and staying really well. Looks really nice. Feels beautiful, nice and smooth. So you can kind of slide it on like I did, or you can kind of press it down over the top. But once you do that, I would definitely recommend lifting it up just like this, and then kind of pushing down or rolling down the edges of the cover to kind of get a better hold on the edges of the console, like just like this. Just kind of put your fingers underneath and push up on the pad and push down on the top cover to get these little edges to kind of roll up underneath and get a better grip. But I think it looks absolutely amazing, fits really well, feels really nice and smooth. And again, it's going to protect your center console now from getting all scratched up, especially if you happen to have pets. That looks really nice, and it does seem like it's holding onto the center console really well. So after getting to install and use the EV-based carbon fiber cover for your center console, as well as the RGB door lights, would I recommend them? And the answer to that is a definite yes. I absolutely love this carbon fiber cover. Again, it was super easy to install. It looks great inside the car. And like I mentioned before, if you happen to have kids or pets that kind of crawl all over your seats, now you don't have to worry about them scratching up or even ripping the fabric that was actually on the center console. These carbon fiber covers are pretty durable, and they're also very easy to clean if you need to. And a little tip, if you can afford to get the carbon fiber dashboard cover, not only does that look and feel great, it also goes really well with the console cover. And then as for the door sill RGB lights, those are super cool. They definitely add an element of flair to your truck and make them stand out, especially in the dark. I love the different patterns that they offer, as well as the colors, and it goes really well with the accent lights inside my Cybertruck. Installation was also really easy, and if you need to charge them up, they're very easy to remove. So if you guys want to pick up any of these accessories yourself, I will be putting product links in the video description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by hitting the like button and consider subscribing. I'd also really like to know which one of these accessories was your favorite and why. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.